Hello, students. Welcome to CLAT Simplified. This is Siddharth Mehta, author of CR Nuggets for Law Exam. Now, in my videos in CLAT Simplified, what I will be doing is I will be discussing the actual passages that came in CLAT 2021. First and foremost, I will be discussing the 6 passages of the English section. Of course, yeah, one video will be having only one passage. So today I will be discussing passage number 1 that came in the CLAT exam. So let me begin. What I will be doing is I will be showcasing you the passage. This is the passage. This is half part of the passage. This slide only has half part of the passage. You can stop the video and read it before moving ahead. Right. So I'm sure that you must have read this part of the passage. This is the second part of the passage in the slide. So you can again stop the video and read it. Now, what I will be doing is I will be showcasing the entire passage in one single slide, and I will be discussing what it is about. So this is the entire passage. Now, when we start reading this passage, it seems like it's a fictional passage, and it perhaps is conversation between two people, right? So we start reading the passage from the first paragraph. The second paragraph, all we are able to understand is that it is between Sherlock Holmes and he's trying to deduce something and the other person is amazed at what he is trying to do. Till this point there is no opinion of the author, only conversation of two characters, and then suddenly the author's opinion comes here, and the things in yellow are important because they are author's opinion, right? So this tells me in fiction detective like Holmes are usually portrayed as people with exceptionally brilliant minds. This is author's opinion. Of course, all other lines are also author's opinion in this particular paragraph. It goes on to explain these are the evidences why author says that people, detective like Holmes are of exceptionally brilliant mind. He says that they possess this rare skill to see and analyze what ordinary people can't. They have incredible abilities to infer, deduce, induce, and conclude. So this is general about detectives like Holmes. Then the next paragraph, this discusses about, then there is G.K. Chesterton's fictional Catholic priest, Father Brown, who relies on his extraordinary power of sympathy and empathy that enables him to imagine and feel as criminals do. So, what he has done is the author of this particular passage, this is type one of detectives who are like Holmes, who are of exceptionally brilliant mind. Then in the next paragraph, he has said that then there is some other type of detectives who have a lot of sympathy and empathy. And this paragraph explains this. Then there is then in the next subsequent paragraph, what is being done is the comparison between Sherlock and Father Holmes. So it says that Sherlock finds the criminal by starting from the outside. He relies on science, experimental methods, and deduction. On the contrary, Father Brown uses various psychological experience. So this is comparison between type 1 and type 2. Next, the last paragraph, the author talks about that there is another set of detectives, and these set of detectives, like the one created by Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, is a storyteller who draws information from the stories that others tell. So he patiently listens to the other's story and then tries to fit in what would have happened. So basically, this entire passage is about the various types of detectives. Now, how does these first few conversational lines fits in? I don't have any idea that how they fits in when the author has gone to describe the various type of detectives. So there is no relation according to me between the two parts, but then that's how it came in the exam. Let us see the questions. This was the first question. From the passage, it can be inferred that Watson is Holmes' mentor. Earlier, Watson used to be with Holmes. Watson is detective. Watson shares all his personal matter with Holmes. Now, let us apply our traps strategy. What are the options that we can definitely say cannot be the answer? Watson is Holmes' mentor. From reading the first paragraph, it doesn't look like that Watson is Holmes' mentor. In fact, it's Sherlock Holmes who seems to have an edge over Watson. So this definitely cannot be the answer. Earlier, Watson used to live with Holmes. Not given directly in the passage, seems like this is not the answer, because once I read it, I couldn't Definitely say that Watson used to live with Holmes. Next, Watson is detective. Can I find anything about Watson's profession here? Definitely Holmes is detective. That is also mentioned in the passage. This definitely I cannot conclude that Watson is detective. Watson shares all his personal matter with Holmes. Again, I don't know whether he shares all his personal matter. This is very extreme word to say, use that he shares all his personal matter. In fact, it is opposite of what is mentioned. In fact, Sherlock Holmes and try to deduce that something has happened with Holmes. So even this cannot be the answer. So if I look all the four, they don't look like the option. So I have to evaluate this if this was mentioned somewhere or indirect reference was given. Now, if you read closely, I rang the doorbell and was shown up to the chamber which had formerly been in part my own. Okay. So it is mentioned in the first line that many of us could have missed, right? So we can say answer is B. Next, it is evident for solving cases Father Brown relies largely on. So we know that Father Brown, it's mentioned that Father Brown relies on sympathy and empathy. Okay, it's mentioned here, who relies on extraordinary power of sympathy and empathy that enable him to imagine and feel as criminals too. So let us see the option. Option A looks a very, very tempting option. Definitely could be the answer. A sympathetic approach towards various people's opinion on the case to be solved. This is definitely not given in the passage, that he relies on the various people's opinion. So out of purview. It's not mentioned in the passage. This won't be the answer. If this is not the answer, then D cannot be the answer. A deductive analysis of crime. Deductive analysis is something that has been associated with Holmes and not Father Brown. So answer should be option number A. Next, for the three detectives mentioned in the passage, which one of these would be non-essential for solving criminal cases? Non-essential for the three detectives. So three detectives mentioned, Sherlock Holmes, Father Brown, and Hercule. So let us see. Forgiving nature. Is forgiving nature mentioned for any of the three? Can't say. Not mentioned. Sensitivity. Directly sensitivity is not mentioned, but in a way empathy and sympathy is nothing but sensitivity. So out of A and B, this looks a better choice, that this is an essential characteristic of Father Brown. Critical thinking. Yes, deductive logic is critical thinking. Patience. For Hercule, it is mentioned that he patiently listens to numerous stories. So this quality is also mentioned. Forgiving nature is not mentioned for anyone, and hence this should be the answer. In order to solve cases, Poirot used the art of dash the narratives that he has been told. Now, about the Hercule Poirot, last few lines are mentioned. He patiently listens to numerous accounts of what happened, where it happened, and how it happened. He listens for credibility and ambiguity. He identifies why and how the pieces of jigsaw don't fit together. Ultimately, he uncovers the truth. So what Poirot does is he listens a lot of stories and tries to fit in the missing links there. So let us see. Building a fantasy based on no, empathizing with all the characters, he doesn't empathize. Creating new plots, no. Detecting and analyzing the missing links in the story, this should be this looks incomplete, so this should be the answer. Detecting and analyzing the missing links in the story or plot. The word incorrigible is the antonym of. The word incorrigible is the antonym. Incorrigible means someone who cannot be corrected. So definitely habitual is not the antonym. Antonym means I have to look the opposite. Incurable is not the antonym. Performable means something that cannot be performed. Can't say whether it is related as synonym or antonym either way. Repentant means if you are trying to correct yourself. So answer should be C. So that is it from my side. What I want you to understand is that through these exercises that I will be doing of an actual CLAT paper, what I want you to understand is that we need to, all of us need to go back and read the passage when we are answering the question. So if you feel that you have to go back while marking the question, go back and read the passage. You are not alone. We have to do that. At the end of the day, we cannot remember each and every detail that is being mentioned. And rather than being inaccurate, it is better to go check and mark the answer. That's a sensible thing to do, rather than simply reading it once and trying to mark it just on the basis of your memory. You will get your answers wrong. That's it from my side. I will soon be coming up with the passage number 2 of the English section of CLAT 2021. Thank you.